So today we're covering Amazon API Gateway. Here's what we're going to cover. What Amazon API Gateway is and how it works, types of APIs like REST, HTTP, and WebSocket, integrations with Lambda for serverless APIs, and the key features like throttling, caching, authentication, and the common use cases and pricing. Amazon API Gateway is a fully managed service that lets you create, deploy, and manage APIs. It acts as the front door for your applications to access data, business logic, or functionality from your backend services. So think of it like a receptionist at a company. Clients make requests at the API gateway, and it routes those requests to the right backend service, whether that's Lambda, EC2, or any HTTP endpoint. API Gateway handles all the tasks involved in accepting and processing API calls, like traffic management, authorization, monitoring, and API version management. So API Gateway supports three types of APIs. REST APIs are full-featured RESTful APIs. The support is for request/response transformations, API keys, usage plans, and caching, and it's best for feature-rich APIs. HTTPS APIs are simpler, lower-cost versions of REST APIs. They're 70% cheaper, have lower latency, and are best for simple proxy APIs to Lambda or HTTP backends. For WebSocket APIs, it's for two-way communication between client and server. It has real-time applications like chat apps, live dashboards, and gaming, and has a persistent connection. So one of the most popular use cases is serverless APIs. API Gateway returns the HTTP request, invokes a Lambda function, and Lambda processes the request, then returns the response, and API Gateway sends it back to the client. There's no servers to manage, it's completely serverless and scales automatically. An example is building a REST API for a mobile app. Each API endpoint triggers a different Lambda function. So this is super common architecture pattern for serverless applications. The key features include throttling, which is rate limiting to prevent abuse, set request per second limits, and protect your backend from traffic spikes. Caching, so cache API responses to reduce backend calls. It improves performance and reduce costs. And you set the TTL, which stands for time to live for cache responses. The authentication authorization is AWS IAM authentication, Amazon Cognito user pools, Lambda authorizers, and API keys for simple access control. So API Gateway uses stages to manage different versions of your API. The common setup is the dev, test, and production stages. Each stage gets its own URL, and you deploy changes to the dev first, test it, then promote it to production. Each stage can have different configurations and throttling limits. So a real-world use case for serverless REST API is mobile app backend. API Gateway plus Lambda plus DynamoDB is completely serverless, scales automatically, and you just pay per request. And for pricing, REST APIs cost $3.50 per million API calls. HTTP APIs cost $1 per million API calls. WebSocket APIs cost $1 per million messages plus connection minutes. Additional costs for caching and data transfer. The free tier includes 1 million REST API calls per month for 12 months. So that's Amazon API Gateway, a fully managed service to create, deploy, and manage APIs to scale. If you found this helpful, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.